Hey everyone, welcome to Recap Motion. Glad to see you all here. Today, we've got a fascinating story on our hands, one that dives deep into the creation of one of the most iconic fast food empires ever, McDonald's. That's right, we're recapping The Founder. This film takes us back to the 1950s and lets us peek behind the golden arches to see how relentless ambition, cunning business moves, and big dreams built an American legend, along with all the drama and fallout that came with it. So grab a snack, get comfy, and let's dig into the whirlwind journey of Ray Kroc, the man who saw a little burger joint and turned it into a global phenomenon. Let's jump right into part 1, From Milkshakes to Million-Dollar Dreams. We're introduced to Ray Kroc, a persistent but down-on-his-luck traveling salesman. He's the kind of guy who listens to motivational records in his car and refuses to let endless rejections get him down. His latest hustle? Selling multi-mixer milkshake machines to small diners across the Midwest and hitting nothing but brick walls. No one wants 6 milkshakes at once, or so it seems. Ray's frustration is palpable as he makes call after call, schmoozes indifferent restaurant owners, and endures shrugged shoulders and polite brush-offs. His personal life isn't exactly thriving either. His wife, Ethel, puts up with his crazy business ideas and long absences, but their marriage has the air of two people living parallel lives. And then, boom, the call that changes everything. Ray's secretary tells him a small hamburger stand in San Bernardino, California just ordered not 1, not 2, but 6 of his multi-mixers. Convinced it's a mistake, Ray rings them up to double-check. Turns out, it's no error. Intrigued and desperate, Ray hops in his car and sets off on a cross-country trip to see what makes this little place tick. What Ray finds in San Bernardino is nothing short of revolutionary. The McDonald's stand, run by two brothers, Dick and Mac McDonald, serves up burgers, fries, and shakes with military precision. Customers walk up, order, and get their food in a matter of seconds. No car hops, no waiters, no real menus to speak of. It's simple, cheap, super fast, and, most importantly, packed with locals. Ray is floored. He meets the McDonald brothers and gets a first-hand tour of their unique, speedy service system developed with the obsessive care of two perfectionists. Every movement in the kitchen has been choreographed to minimize wasted effort. Burgers slide down a line, condiments get a single squirt, fries are cut fresh, and every item is wrapped and handed over with almost robotic efficiency. Ray is blown away by their story. Dick and Mac explain how they pared down their menu, fired their car hops, eliminating chaos and theft, and even marked out layouts with chalk on a tennis court until they found the perfect design. This isn't just fast food, it's precision-engineered, family-friendly, and wildly popular with the community. Ray, being Ray, immediately scents a gold mine. He pitches the brothers on franchising the restaurant across the country. The McDonald's, however, are cautious. They've been burned before by failed franchises, with people cutting corners, ruining their reputation, or just not getting the secret sauce of their system. Still, Ray's enthusiasm is infectious, and the brothers eventually agree to let him open a few stores, as long as he sticks to their strict standards on everything from portion sizes to cleanliness. Ray leaves California with his head spinning and dreams 10 times bigger than before. He sees the future, the golden arches lighting up America, a McDonald's in every town, and his name on the marquee. But for Ray, dreaming big is never enough. Now he just has to make it happen. Part 2, The Birth of a Fast Food Empire and the Trouble Begins. Back in Illinois, Ray throws himself into making McDonald's a national phenomenon. He opens his first franchise in Des Plaines, meticulously following every instruction from Dick and Mac. The golden arches must be the right height, every French fry must be of a certain length, and every burger patty must be precisely measured. Ray even invites the brothers to check his work. The opening is a smash, lines down the block, crowds buzzing, money pouring in. For Ray, it feels like victory. But quickly, he faces a slew of new headaches. The problem? Most of the franchisees, Fred, the country club set, care more about profit margins than perfect fries. These are Ray's first recruits, old golfing pals who see McDonald's as just another investment. They cut corners, refuse to wash their hands, and even sell sloppy, unapproved menu items like fried chicken. Ray's vision, a clean, well-run, all-American place where families can trust their food, is losing out to penny pinching and laziness. He drives from franchise to franchise, trying in vain to enforce the McDonald's strict rulebook, hammering home the importance of quality and consistency. It's like herding cats with spatulas. Meanwhile, Ray's finances are running on fumes. The original contract with Dick and Mac leaves him with a measly cut of profits. Most of the money, by design, goes back to the McDonald brothers in California. Every time Ray tries to propose changes or streamline processes, he hits a wall. The brothers insist on holding to their original sacred rules: no corners cut, no menu expansion, and absolutely no substitutions. It's driving Ray crazy. With Ray's marriage crumbling under the pressure, he turns to fellow entrepreneur Rollie Smith and eventually to an ambitious financial consultant named Harry Sonborn. Harry offers a game-changing insight. The real money isn't in the hamburgers, it's in owning the land. Harry proposes that Ray should form a separate company to buy up plots and then lease them to franchisees at high markups. This way, not only does Ray gain control over his unruly franchisees, because if they don't follow the rules, he can just take back the land, but he also locks in a steady revenue stream and finally steps out from under the McDonald brothers' thumb. Ray jumps at the idea. The Franchise Realty Corporation is born, and it changes the entire game. Suddenly, Ray has the power. He can dictate terms to his franchisees, enforce cleanliness and menu standards, and turn out anyone who doesn't toe the line. From this point on, the company grows at breakneck speed. Thousands of locations opening coast to coast, each one uniform, efficient, and instantly recognizable. With business booming, Ray increasingly clashes with Dick and Mac. They watch as their original vision is slowly steamrolled by Ray's relentless drive. He wants powdered milkshakes, cheaper, and no refrigeration. They refuse. He wants to boost profits with new menu items. They won't hear of it. Friction builds. Ray, meanwhile, is laser-focused on growth at all costs. He starts living like a tycoon, buying a Cadillac, schmoozing with powerful businessmen, and running his ever-expanding empire with an iron fist. Ethel, his long-suffering wife, is more isolated than ever. Ray's determination turns into ruthlessness. He tweaks the branding, creating a corporate image that's more about him than the brothers. His signature begins to appear everywhere, and before long, Ray's face becomes the unofficial emblem of the company. As McDonald's transforms from a small family business into a corporate juggernaut, Ray's aggressive tactics leave the McDonald brothers feeling sidelined, outmatched, and pressured, while Ray revels in his role as the visionary founder he always wanted to be.
Part 3. The Boom, the Betrayal, and the Battle for the Arches. With the Franchise Realty Corporation in full swing, Ray Kroc finally has the leverage he needs to take McDonald's to unprecedented heights, but it comes at a steep price. As the number of locations balloons, Ray's new approach, ruthlessly efficient, entirely profit-driven, and laser-focused on uniformity, starts to eclipse everything the McDonald brothers held dear. Ray's personal life is taking a parallel path. He meets Joan Smith, the charismatic, shrewd wife of one of his early franchisees, and falls head over heels. It's as if Joan embodies everything Ray wants: ambition, charm, and an unshakable belief in his vision. Yet back at home, his wife Ethel withers in the shadow of his rising empire. Their emotional distance turns into open rifts. Ray's apology after missing a long-forgotten wedding anniversary rings hollow. Eventually, Ethel asks for a divorce, a rupture that feels more like an inevitable business transaction than a messy heartbreak. Ray, ever the pragmatist, moves on without even looking over his shoulder. On the business front, tensions reach a fever pitch. Dick and Mac are horrified to discover Ray is using cheap powdered milk for milkshakes to boost profits, a clear violation of their founding principles. They call out the betrayal, but Ray continually skirts their authority. The contract, inked years ago out of goodwill, has become nothing but shackles for the brothers. Even Ray's use of the McDonald's name feels like salt in the wound. After all, it's their family name, but now every new restaurant feels further and further from the humble original. The breaking point comes when Ray starts presenting himself as the founder of McDonald's, a title the brothers never granted him. Ray's ego is fully unleashed. He gives media interviews bragging about his revolutionary system and his culinary vision. Emboldened, he opens new headquarters in Illinois, replacing the original gold-arched San Bernardino stand as the symbolic heart of the operation. Desperate to take back control, Dick and Mac try to stop Ray, but the fine print in their contract pins them down. Ray's Realty Corporation owns all the land their restaurants are built on. If the brothers try to fight, he threatens to replace every McDonald's with new franchisees under his personal control. He's untouchable and he knows it. Trapped, the brothers are forced to sit down at the negotiating table. Ray wants complete ownership of the company, the iconic name, all the branding, and the rights to expand without the brothers' oversight. The McDonald's, exhausted and heartbroken, reluctantly agree to a payout. $2.7 million for both, which was supposed to set them up with $1 million each after taxes. But Ray insists this is their final deal. He will not pay them royalties on future sales, a handshake agreement that, of course, he never honors. Once the contract is signed, Ray wastes no time. He builds a new McDonald's directly across the street from the original brothers' stand, ruthlessly undercutting their prices until their restaurant withers away. The original McDonald's is gone. Ray has wiped the slate clean, cemented his title as the founder, and turned a modest burger stand into the world's most recognizable fast food empire on his terms. Part 4. Glory, Legacy, and the True Cost of Ambition. With the ink dry on the deal and Ray Kroc now firmly in the driver's seat, McDonald's explodes into something the world has never seen. Ray perfects the art of mass production and branding, slapping the golden arches across hundreds, then thousands of identical buildings. He builds an empire on speed, precision, and relentless marketing, making McDonald's a symbol of American efficiency and optimism. Ray, now remarried to Joan, enjoys public adoration and financial triumph. He becomes a business icon, giving speeches about perseverance and the magic of persistence. But under the glossy, triumphant surface, there's an ever-present shadow, the story of who got left behind. Back in San Bernardino, the McDonald brothers try to keep their original restaurant running. But without their name, and in the face of Ray's aggressive expansion, it's a losing battle. Their little stand, once the pride of the town, is squeezed out by Ray's new McDonald's right across the street. When Dick returns one evening to find their beloved sign coming down, the brothers stand in silence, witnesses to the vanishing of their dream. They ultimately shut down their restaurant and fade into obscurity, never seeing another penny of royalties from the handshake deal Ray had so casually offered and then ignored. The film closes with short updates on the characters' real lives. Ray Kroc would go on to shape McDonald's into the global giant we know today, gathering billions in revenue and changing how the world eats. Dick and Mac McDonald, for all their ingenuity, would never receive the recognition or compensation they deserved. Their names became success, but their faces vanished from the company they'd built. The final message is complicated. Yes, Ray's vision made him wildly successful and changed the face of fast food forever. But that same drive steamrolled the people whose ideas made McDonald's possible in the first place. And that's the story of The Founder, a tale of ambition, ruthlessness, and the sometimes painful price of the American dream. Thanks for hanging out with us for this recap, friends. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, leave a comment with your thoughts, and drop a like below. Catch you in the next Recap Motion episode. See you soon.